Today, I want to show you what I believe is the best project being built in the city of Las Terrenas in Samaná, Annabella Hills. We've talked about this complex more than once before, but today's report is special because for the first time, you can see how an idea gradually turns into reality, how it all started, and how the construction is going today. This is what the site looked like at the very beginning, about a year and a half ago. It was a very beautiful hill with an excellent view of the Atlantic Ocean. Back then, it was hard to imagine that in just a few years, one of the most beautiful residential complexes on the Samaná Peninsula would appear here. The very first stage was building the access road. For many, this might seem like a small thing, but any serious construction project always starts with the road. We had to lay 350 meters of road from scratch and build a quality storm drainage system so that there wouldn't be any problems after heavy rains in the future. Then the earthworks began. Machinery leveled the sites. Tons of unnecessary soil were hauled away, and tons of sand were brought in to replace it. The slope was reinforced, and the area was prepared for the future buildings. The project has a complex architectural design. It consists of 6 buildings on the slope of a high hill. To build them, terraces had to be created, so there was a lot of earthwork and reinforcement of these terraces. Recently, the earthworks were almost finished, and the project moved on to the next stage, pouring the foundation for the first building. For any construction project, it's the foundation that marks the moment when the site truly shifts from preparation to actual building. Now, with each passing month, there will be more and more visible changes, and I'll definitely be showing them in new episodes. Why do I think Annabella Hill is one of the best projects in Las Terrenas? Well, first of all, it's the location. The complex is being built not far from the best beaches in Las Terrenas, and right next to the town center, but at the same time, it's situated on a high hill. And that means something you can hardly find in other projects: a stunning panoramic ocean view, a constant fresh breeze, and a feeling of complete privacy. Also, the very concept of the project. It's not some huge residential complex with hundreds of apartments. There are only 29 exclusive apartments here, located in 6 small, modern buildings. This kind of intimacy is always highly valued by both buyers and renters. And the project's architecture is designed so that every apartment has a view of the ocean and the surrounding tropical hills. And at the same time, not a single apartment overlooks another. Large terraces, modern design, swimming pools, a lounge area, a gym. All of this is created specifically for comfortable living, not just for some pretty advertising pictures. I'd also like to say a few words about the developer. The company has already proven that it knows how to build with quality and fulfill its commitments. The company has just finished construction on a complex with 46 apartments. This is Dream House. All the buyers have already received their keys. The complex is fully completed. Many of the apartments are already being rented out through the complex's management company. By the way, for those who don't want to wait for construction to finish and would like to buy a fully completed and even furnished apartment, there are still 3 2-bedroom apartments left in the Dream House complex. Each is 103 square meters with an excellent layout. Prices range from $207,000 to $230,000, depending on the apartment you choose. Renting such an apartment brings in at least $150 per day during the low season, and in the winter months, the rental price is over $200 per day. And the complex has very high occupancy because it's located close to the beach, restaurants, and all the city's infrastructure. But still, buying during the construction phase in the Dominican Republic is more advantageous, since you don't have to pay the full amount up front. To make a purchase, you only need 20% of the apartment's price. That's the down payment. Another 40% is paid in small installments during construction, and the remaining 40% is paid by the buyer when they receive the keys. So the payment plan is quite convenient, and at the same time, the price at the start of construction is significantly lower than for already completed apartments. For example, I can show you the growth using the same dream house as an example. At the initial stage of construction, 2.5 years ago, you could buy a 2-bedroom apartment in this complex for about $150,000. Today, in the completed project, the price is already $210,000, $230,000. During the same period, real estate in Las Terrenas has increased in price by an average of 7%. So over 2.5 years, the average price increase for real estate in Las Terrenas was 17%. But apartments in Dream House went up by 40%. And that's because buying at the foundation stage is always significantly cheaper, and the price of the apartment rises not only due to the general increase in real estate prices, but also as the complex itself is being built. Going back to the Annabella Hills project, as of today, there are 9 apartments left for sale. These are spacious 2-bedroom apartments with terraces, starting at 120 square meters. That's about 1,300 square feet. Prices range from $246,000 to $265,000. And I have no doubt that after construction is completed at the end of 2027, these apartments will cost well over $300,000 and will rent for at least $200 a day. There simply aren't any other luxury complexes like this in Las Terrenas, where every apartment has a breathtaking ocean view. Besides that, Las Terrenas is now considered one of the most promising regions in the Dominican Republic. More and more foreigners are choosing this city because of its unique natural beauty, European vibe, long sandy beaches, lack of seaweed, and the rapidly developing infrastructure of the city itself. Huge changes are coming to Las Terrenas in the next few years. This year, a huge cruise port is opening just 25 minutes from the city, which will receive mega liners from companies like Royal Caribbean and Carnival. In 2028, a direct highway and ferry crossing will open, making it possible to get from Punta Cana to Samaná in just a little over 2 hours. Plans for the near future include the renovation of Samaná International Airport. If you look at the history of successful projects, it's precisely at the early stages of construction in rapidly developing areas that investors usually achieve the greatest potential for property value growth. That's why many buyers are trying to get into Las Terrenas right now. And in my opinion, Annabella Hill is currently the best project for entering the Las Terrenas market. It's especially gratifying for me to show this project today because it's one thing to look at beautiful computer renderings, which we showed last year when the project was just starting, and it's something else entirely to see the actual construction with your own eyes, to see the equipment on site, the foundation, the workers, and the daily progress. It's at moments like these that you really see the project come to life. If you've been dreaming of owning property by the ocean for a long time, or if you're considering the Dominican Republic as an investment, be sure to take a look at the Annabella Hills project. If you'd like a consultation about this or any other project in the Dominican Republic, my phone number and a link to schedule an online appointment are in the description of this video. And I'll be happy to advise you on any questions related to buying real estate in the Dominican Republic. See you next time.